welcome to the reading. This reading will be about Jungkook and some of the members of BTS. Before I start looking into these questions that I have, let me actually just pick up the energy. What's surrounding the group BTS as a whole? What can we see as far as what's surrounding the group? What can we see? What's up with them? So let's see. What's going on with BTS? What's the energy around BTS? Okay, well, this is giving me a strong energy. It's telling me that it's affecting most of the members of BTS. This is actually their emotion. So let's see. What is their emotion? The master, they're working behind the scenes. The master is all about behind the scenes work. It also speaks of mastery. So what I'm seeing here is that projects. I'm seeing projects. They have a lot of projects that they're working on as far as individual members. That's actually interesting. What else can we see? What else is happening? I'm seeing projects. We're already seeing that Jungkook released one of his projects. I'm seeing that most of the members of BTS sort of just have their own projects in the works. Now, if it's to be released, that's a different story. But what I'm seeing here is that they're definitely working on projects. Solo projects is what I'm getting. This energy of control is a vibe of opposition. And this is actually deep because a lot of them would like to release their projects, but I'm getting a vibe of they have to wait. So it's kind of just okay, let it be Jungkook's turn. Then let it be the next guy turn. Instead of just them all releasing their project or projects, it's an issue with that. I'm seeing it's an issue with that. It's causing agitation. They're not happy with that. They're not happy with that at all. It's kind of just they all just want to release their projects, but they have to follow a particular rollout is what I'm seeing. I'm going to look more into this, but let's see. What's going on with the energy? What else is happening? It's not going to be that rough, though. It's for their best good is what I'm seeing. Not just that, they will have their projects released. That's what I was saying. It's not going to be the worst thing. I'm seeing at the end of the day, they're going to get their way, right? It's kind of just where they don't have to wait for just individual members to release their projects. I'm seeing that they will be able to release their projects, but it's an energy of waiting. It's kind of just their management. I don't know who's their management, who's behind them, but their management, the people that help sort of just the group function, they just want a smooth rollout. That's what I'm getting. It's kind of just okay, you guys have all these projects with the master, but it's things need to be a bit controlled. We can't just be releasing everything and anything. We have to see how the market's looking as far as will people support it. You know what I mean? We have to see the influence of someone like Jungkook. Is his projects doing well? Because management doesn't want sort of just their projects to fail is what I'm seeing. But there will be celebration, not just that. Expect their projects to come out as far as the individual members that are working on sort of just their own projects. Now then, let me actually get into the questions. So it's going to be fascinating. The first question is, will Jungkook leave BTS for a solo career? What can we see? Will Jungkook leave BTS for a solo career? What can we see? All right, this is Jungkook's emotion because the card is face down. So let's see what it is. He's thinking about it. He is definitely thinking about it. This is the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands represents planning. It also represents travel. I'm seeing that he's planning to have a solo career. We already seen some of it as far as with his project with Lotto. So I'm seeing that it's he's planning to. Because again, the Three of Wands represents planning to travel, planning to move. What else can we see? It's an issue, though. It's definitely an issue. Because it's This is the Two of Swords, right? The Two of Swords represents indecision. Not just that, if you look at the image here, there's conflict. There's someone that's preventing him from fully being separate. What they want is for BTS to continue being a group. They feel like, you see this image here with all these people working together? Whoever manages BTS, whoever owns the group, it's kind of just like they don't want them to separate. Yeah, this Jungkook, he wants to leave. The Three of Wands represents planning to leave, planning to travel. But it's kind of just like with this Two of Swords, there's indecision. And not because he doesn't want to, the indecision is coming from his boss, his bosses, right? You know, these celebrities, these artists, they're not necessarily in control of themselves. They are product. You know what I mean? They're brands. They're kind of like a bottle of Coca-Cola. You know what I mean? They're kind of just like Apple. They're like an iPhone. You know, like, yeah, there are people they're alive because they're individuals, but at the same time, they're products. So what I'm seeing here is that management doesn't want Jungkook to leave. He wants to leave, and he's going to have the opportunity to do sort of just like his own separate projects. But at the end of the day, what I'm seeing here, because this card is in a position of the future, that they won't be split up permanently. Like, yeah, they might have breaks. Yeah, different members might do different things, but at the end of the day, they're going to be coming back together because it's kind of just like they make more money that way. So that's what I'm seeing. So my next question is, will Lotto date Jungkook? What can I see as far as that? Will Lotto be dating Jungkook? Let's see. We already got into Lotto's energy as far as that reading I did with Lotto and Jungkook, and it was showing that, like, if she can manipulate him, she will for her own career. But let's see. Well, the Three of Swords, she tried. She definitely tried. There was conflict, though. Conflict regarding her own personal relationship because she's with someone. So I'm seeing that she tried. Not just that it didn't go so well. It's an energy of opposition. The Three of Swords is all about heartbreak and betrayal. It's giving me that it was a pushback from management. It keeps talking about management. The energies that I'm getting, and this is just what I'm getting intuitively, it's kind of just like management is in control in a lot of ways regarding this BTS. And I know that people don't like to hear that. People like to like assume that these members or these celebrities from like Beyonce or Jay-Z, for anyone, it's kind of just like people like to believe that they're in control of their own lives. But that's not what I'm getting here. It keeps talking about management. It was kind of just like management is just like, no, it won't be a good look. And she tried hard. She tried hard with the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is about not stopping. It's about sort of just like going after what you want. But at the same time, they're doing things in secret. The Hermit represents secrets. So when we're talking about sort of just like, will someone date or like what's going on as far as like their dating lives, when a Hermit comes up, it speaks of a secret. So what I'm seeing here is that they do have secret relations. And that's why the betrayal came out as well, because she has her own boyfriend. Not just that, it's telling me this Jungkook, he has someone too in his life that's besides Lotto. They both have their own relationships, and it's telling me that they're not even with one person, they're with multiple people. So it's kind of just like it's the energy of betrayal. But what I'm seeing here is that, yeah, she definitely sort of just like went after him. Not just that, they do have a secret relationship with this Hermit. Not just that, they're in a toxic situation because they're both cheating. So, yeah. So let's see. Will Lotto manipulate Jungkook, causing him to act like a fool and leave BTS? So let's see. Will Lotto be manipulating this Jungkook? What can we see? Actually, I'm drawn to use this deck again. The energies are telling me to use that deck. So let's see. Will Lotto be manipulating Jungkook, causing him to act a fool and to leave BTS? So let's see. Let's see what pops up. What comes up? He wants to leave on his own. He doesn't even need sort of just like Lotto to do that for him. Like, he doesn't need sort of just like confidence from Lotto to separate from BTS. He wants to leave. You know what I mean? The Six of Swords is all about leaving. It's about leaving a situation that you don't want to deal with. He wants to leave BTS. He's done with BTS, but he can't, because it's kind of just like, it's going to cause problems. It's definitely going to cause problems. It's kind of just like, he wants to leave, but if he leaves, whoever owns BTS, they're going to make him poor. You know, this is the Five of Pentacles. So it's kind of just like, the Five of Pentacles speaks of poverty, right? It speaks of being out in the cold. It's kind of just like, yeah, he wants to leave, and he doesn't need Lotto for that. But again, if he does that, he's going to be broke. They're going to sue him. They're going to take him to court. There's going to be a lot of problems. And he knows that kind of just like, he can't necessarily leave. When BTS finally breaks up, it's because they're not making any money. Whoever owns them feel like they're not a good investment. You know how like certain things are popular, or certain celebrities or certain products, when they're popular, it's kind of just like, okay, it's cool. But when they're not popular no more, then it's like, okay, you can split up, or we can put an end to this. Finally breaks up, it's because they're not selling like how they used to. It's because people aren't crazy about them. You know what I mean? It's kind of just like Katy Perry. Katy Perry was like a big celebrity, right? People love Katy Perry. People went to her concerts. She had a lot of hits. Now people don't care about Katy Perry. You know, celebrities aren't always going to be popular, right? Like, even there's a decline with Beyonce. It was kind of just like people were crazy about Beyonce. Now it's kind of just like whatever. Regarding Beyonce, it's slowly, that fascination and that craze is slowly starting to die down. So it's kind of just like, when this BTS thing die down, that's when they're going to break up. But he doesn't need sort of just like Lotto to help him with that. Now let me ask, like, will Lotto manipulate him? What can we see? Will Lotto manipulate Jungkook? Yeah, this Jungkook guy, he can't leave BTS officially. She's trying with the High Priestess. The High Priestess is all about sort of just like working behind the scenes. So it's kind of just like she's doing things behind the scenes, sort of just like trying to accomplish things, like trying to like have this guy sort of just like do things for her, because you've seen that she already has like a #1 hit thanks to him. So it's kind of just like she's trying things behind the scenes with the High Priestess. So she is trying to manipulate him. But business is a big deal. The King of Pentacles represents a boss, right? So it's kind of just like, again, this Jungkook dude, he has bosses that he has to follow. He can't just do things on his own. Not just that, the Ace of Pentacles represents sort of just like business interests. There's a lot of business interests in this situation. So yeah, she's going to try like behind the scenes to do like shady shit as far as like trying to manipulate him. But at the end of the day, this Jungkook dude, he has to answer to business. He can't just be free. That's just what I'm seeing. So yeah, it's a deep situation with that. So let's see. The next question is Suga from BTS dating Halsey? So let's see. What can we see regarding this situation? Is Suga from BTS dating Halsey? Oh yeah, they definitely have a romantic situation going on. Not just that, this is the moon, so it represents having to like have it be a secret. So I'm seeing that, yeah, they're definitely dating, but it's a secret with the moon. Now let's see, the next question with this is, are Halsey and Suga drug buddies? So let's see, are they basically like crackheads together? Let's see what pops up. They've done things together as far as like drugs, and as far as sort of just like I don't know, it's a complicated situation because it's like, yeah, they dated. Yeah, it was a secret. Yeah, I'm getting with this Five of Pentacles. It speaks of a lack. So it speaks of something being ghetto, something not being right. But it's kind of just like they're not doing that anymore. Because the Emperor speaks of structure. So it's kind of just like, not just that, the Queen of Cups also speaks of compassion. So I'm going to be real. Yeah, like they might do like drugs here and there. But it's a vibe of kind of just like, at the end of the day, they have to work with the Emperor. Again, the Emperor represents structure. It represents responsibilities. So it's kind of just like they have responsibilities. Not just that, it is love here and compassion with the Queen of Cups. So it's kind of just like, yeah, they do drugs here and there, but they're not necessarily like all cracked out, right? They're not like an Amanda Bynes. They're not kind of like a Lindsay Lohan where it's kind of just like they're all cracked out and it's just ratchet. Like, when we talk about drugs and stuff like that, when the Five of Pentacles pop up, it does relate to doing things that's unsavory, that's not sort of like, I don't know what you would call it, like, not right? Like things that people assume poor people do. You know, people always assume that poor people do drugs, but really it's kind of just like rich people do more drugs than poor people because they can actually afford it. But again, they have responsibilities with this Emperor. So to answer the question, it's kind of just like, yeah, they are in a relationship. They have like a romantic thing going on. Not just that with the Moon. It is behind the scenes. It's a secret. Not just that. They do drugs together. It's saying like casually, but they have responsibilities. So their relationship has more to do with like compassion and romance. It's not kind of just like a crackhead relationship where it's all about drugs. Like, yeah, they do that casually, but it's more to do with romance is what I'm getting. So now the next question is anyone from BTS a secret father? What can we see regarding this situation? Is anyone from BTS a secret father? Oh, this postponement. Before I even get to that energy, let me shuffle and let everything come out. That's actually fascinating, that postponement. All right, a face down card. What else can we get? I'm getting an energy of secrets. There are secrets behind this secret father situation. That's what I'm getting. Just from the energies. That's why I was just like, let me pull. Because it's telling me secrets. It's definitely telling me secrets. All right, it's a lot of things going on. I'm going to be real. With the energies, it's telling me, even without me looking at the cards, that, yeah, like, someone has a baby. It's telling me two people. Two of these BTS members have a secret kid. That's what I'm seeing. Two of these members have a secret kid. This postponement being sideways represent something not being right? Postponement means holding things back, not going through with something, right? It represents kind of just like when you can't make something official, when you can't do something, right? It's kind of just like you're postponed. The fact that it's sideways represents that it's shady. I say this in my readings all the time. When something is sideways, it represents it being shady. So as far as them having a kid, I'm getting two members. It's either something like they have, or one single member have two kids, that's secret, but it's telling me that two members have a kid instead of one guy just having two kids. But it could be that, you know what I mean? But what I'm getting here is kind of just like two members have a secret kid, or secret kids is what I'm getting. Two members. Not just that, this postponement, they can't break the news. It's a secret. And again, it's shady because the card is sideways. So, I mean, that's deep. Let's see what this hidden factor is. This is a hidden factor because we're talking about secret kids and shit. So this face down card represents a hidden factor. What can we see? The source. It comes from their bosses. Again, and I'm not just saying that because that seems like the thing to say. I'm getting it comes from the bosses. The source of their money. the source of kind of just like BTS, right? The source represent ego. It represents the core. It represents sort of like the sun. With this, because I was telling you it's a hidden factor. The hidden factor is the source of BTS. You know, BTS didn't just come together themselves, right? BTS was put together. When BTS gets advertisement, it's because there's bosses that's causing them to get advertisement, right? These people just didn't come together. And I think someone in the comment section told me, like, oh, these BTS members been working hard, you know, for like, I guess, a few years. And that doesn't mean that they don't have anyone above them, right? It doesn't mean that, you know, they don't have bosses. You know, the music industry, no one is independent. They like to say that they are. People like to say stupid shit like, what's her name? Like Ice Spice. She owns all her music and all of that. All that's lies. And I know that her publicist or her manager or something said that she did. That's lies. They say that even with Nicki Minaj. They all say that because it's a good look for the celebrity, right? But you have to understand that this is a business. Why would businessmen let these celebrities own their own shit? Why would they let them be in control of their own shit? I like to say this because people really like to believe that these celebrities are independent. These celebrities, none of these celebrities, especially in the music industry, they're not independent. Even actors aren't independent. They have a ton of contracts where it's kind of just like, you can't do this, you can't do that. You can't act in this movie, but you can act in this movie. You can't work with this studio, but you can work with this studio. It's business. It's just business. So what I'm seeing here is, again, the hidden feature is kind of just like the business, the source of BTS. It's kind of just like, we have to postpone this news. It's going to be coming out in the future. But what I'm seeing here is that it's postponed for now. So yeah, that's what I'm getting. And you see this this kid, this is a young boy. It can represent basically like a kid, you know, because we're asking like, do they have any secret children, any secret babies? And what I'm seeing with this situation is kind of just like the kid being locked out. So yeah, there's two secret fathers in this situation. And the kid is locked out. They're not claiming them. This guidance is stress on the mother, not just that, the mom, the mothers of these children, because it's telling me it's two separate ladies. They're dealing with a lot of stress. They have to rely on spirituality. So it's like, it's a tough situation. You know, I can't tell you which member and all of that. This is just what I'm getting. It's kind of just like, yeah, two of them are fathers. So, yeah, and it's a secret. And it's because, you know, who owns them are kind of just like, no, you can't, like, have that be known. So, let's see. Next question is, will Jimin pimp himself out in the West for opportunities? So let's see. Will this Jimin guy, will he pimp, and my apologies if I pronounce his name wrong, will he pimp himself out in the West for opportunities? This Jimin guy, and it's funny because I told you, like, there's two secret fathers. I'm getting that this Jimin guy, he's one of the secret fathers, actually. That's what I'm getting. He's one of the secret fathers. So if you want to know, this Jimin guy, he is one of the secret fathers that have a kid. He definitely has a kid. But he can't acknowledge this kid for whatever reason, you know? But what I'm getting here is kind of just like, for himself and his family. It's telling me that this guy is a family man. And again, I don't know anything of these people. I don't follow them. I don't even own not one of their songs, right? Like, I have some of Doja Cat songs. I have, like, certain people's songs. Like, I have some Ice Spice songs, but I don't own not one BTS member songs or whatever. Like, I don't follow these people. But what I'm seeing here is that he's a family man. And for him, it's kind of just like whatever he has to do. Yeah, he has his own things that he wants to do, his own projects. But what I'm seeing here is he's big on family. And it's kind of just like whatever he has to do to protect his family, he'll do. Whatever he has to do to sort of just like make money for himself, his family, and his future, that's what he has to do. He's big on his future. He's big on his future. So it's not necessarily about just pimping himself out, like being greedy. But if he has to do it, he's going to do it. Does he want to? No. But it's kind of just like, if he has to, it's telling me he will. And to be real with you, there's things going on behind the scenes. What else can we see? There's things going on behind the scenes, you know, with these BTS guys. It's unfortunate, but there are things that these BTS members had to do. And I'm getting this Gemini guy is one of them. Not just that this energy is of regret. So I'm seeing that there is regret. So he has regret because he done some things. But he wants to set himself up for the future. A sideways card and his face down. This represents something not being right, and it represents his emotion. So let's see. The Emperor. It's all about structure. It's all about structure. The Emperor represents structure. Not just that. It could represent working in business. It could represent business structures. This guy, he's in the industry. So it's kind of just like whatever he has to do, he has to do. And again, it represents his emotion. So he already done things that he's not proud of. You know, it's kind of just like the Hunger Games. Like if you know anything of like the Hunger Games is fascinating because they were saying like the members that won the Hunger Games, like they were celebrities, right? But people didn't know, like secretly the rich and the powerful was treating the members as prostitutes, sleeping with them and all of that. Like the average person in the Hunger Games didn't know, but that's what was happening behind the scenes. So I'm going to be real with you. It's probably not nice to say, and it's probably like, you know, it doesn't feel good. But this guy, and I told you that there was regret. And it's telling me, and again, this was his emotion, business, organization, and all of that. He done things already in the industry. So again, whatever he has to do to survive, you know, he doesn't want to be in bad standing with business. You know, that's why it's kind of just like he has a secret kid, but he can't talk about the secret kid. Yeah, he has a secret family he wants to take care of and all of that, but it's just like he doesn't want to offend them. He's kind of, if they're kind of just like, don't talk about your family, don't do this, don't do that, he's not going to do it. So it's a deep situation, but he already prostituted himself out, basically. All these people have. But I'm going to ask the question for individuals anyway, just to see what pops up. But let's see. The next one is, will V pimp himself out in the West for opportunities? What can we see? Will V pimp himself out in the West, or 5? I don't know if it's 5 or V, but all right, this is his emotion because the card is face down. So let's see. He's done things. Not just that. He's not happy about it. The 7 of Wands represents being strong-willed, right? It also represents being stubborn. It also represents opposition. He's done things that he's not proud of. Not just that. They want him to do more things, but he's holding his ground. So what I'm seeing here is that this V, or 5, he's more strong than Gemini. And I'm not judging Gemini. He's trying to survive. He doesn't want to offend no businessmen. He doesn't want to offend the corporate interests. He doesn't want to do that. But whoever this V is kind of just like he's strong-willed. He's kind of just like, fuck that shit. Like, I don't want to like be with you guys anymore. I don't want to prostitute myself out anymore. That's what I'm getting. What else can we see? It's an energy, though, of going back and forth. So sometimes he stops, but then he has to do it again. The 2 of Swords represents indecision, right? It also represents not being in control, and it represents a back and forth. So I was telling you that they want him to do particular things regarding his image, regarding like what he does. And it has to do with the Emperor. The Emperor has to do with structure, businessmen. That's what the Emperor represents. You see this ego? It represents power, dominance. The business structure that he's attached to puts him in a vibe of indecision. Not just that, at the end of the day, he submits with this Knight of Cups. He submits. And it's because, you see the snake hair, he's been poisoned. It's kind of just like, you see this guy, how his eyes look sad? This V, it's kind of just like, he's sad, he's not happy about it, but at the end of the day, he submits. Yeah, he puts up a fight, he puts up a struggle, but he doesn't have the power in this situation. So all these dudes are prostituting themselves out. It doesn't mean that they're going to be like major, huge celebrities, but all these guys been prostituted themselves out, and they have to prostitute themselves out in the West, even if you don't see any of their projects in the West. It just is what it is. The West is Hollywood. The West is the industry. Even though these people are from the East, that doesn't matter. Hollywood, the industry, it controls all sort of just like entertainment. They're involved in every entertainment. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. This is their industry. Like the West, it's their industry, entertainment. And let me just say, this reading is all alleged. So let's see. Has Jungkook pimped himself out in the West for opportunities? And again, I'm just going to be like, yeah, because it showed the other guys, they already did. So of course this guy has. He has a #1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100. So it's kind of just like, yeah. And again, a sideways card representing things not being right. Not just that, the Five of Wands, it speaks of conflict, fights. It's fights. It's fights behind the scenes. It's fights behind the scenes. You know, and I did a reading for Lotto and Jungkook, and it was telling me that he doesn't like to see the bad things. And one of the things that I said in a reading was that he's surrounded by sort of like shady people. He's surrounded by shady people. He doesn't even like to see sort of just like the bad things in life. He doesn't want to deal with it. He doesn't want to deal with it. But there's conflict. Again, the Five of Wands speaks of conflict. He's dealing with conflict. So it's telling me a situation with conflict. At the same time, he wants to create. The Magician is a creator. So it's an energy of he's a sellout. He's trying to build. He's trying to build. He definitely is trying to build with this Knight of Cups. He's trying to establish something. So it's kind of just like, at the end of the day, he's not happy with his actions, but he wants to create. Not just that, this guy self-medicates. The Four of Swords is all about a peace of mind. For him, it's kind of just like he doesn't, I'm going to just say self-medicate. I'm going to just go as far as to say that. You know, you can self-medicate with drugs. You can self-medicate by trying not to see the truth. You can self-medicate by lying to yourself. So I'm going to just say it like that. There's conflict. Yeah, he's prostituting himself out in the West. He wants to create, though. He wants to create. He's big on creating. And if you've seen, none of these guys had an energy like the Magician. And that actually popped up in his reading with Lotto and himself when I did that reading for them. And the Magician popped up for him as well. This guy, he's really successful. Not just that, he's really big on creating. So I don't know if he's going to be the most successful BTS member, but I'm seeing that this guy, he's going to be really successful with what he's trying to do. Not just that, he's trying to build. He's trying to be happy with his life. You know, the Nine of Cups represent sort of like being satisfied with life. He's going to be satisfied with life. He's happy with having a #1 hit on a Billboard Hot 100. I don't know how many times that happened for BTS, because again, I don't follow them, but that's what I'm seeing. It's kind of just like he's going to be satisfied in his life. Yeah, there's conflict, but at the same time, he's going to do what he needs to do. So let's see, is Jimin still dealing with depression? So let's see, and I'm going to ask, is he still sleeping around? So let's see, is this Jimin guy still dealing with depression? What can we see? Is Jimin still dealing with depression? Let's see. All right, this is his emotion, because the card is face down. So perfect. It represents his emotion. Not just that, it's not right because the card is sideways. So that's what's going on. Oh yeah, he's still dealing with depression. This is the Two of Swords. This is the Two of Swords. He's not happy in his life. He's not happy in his life. So yeah, he's still dealing with depression. Oh, and he's tired. Oh, he's tired. Not just that. It's kind of just like, this is actually the Three of Swords, so represent, like heartbreak. Heartbreak doesn't always mean, love. He's just, like depression and shit can cause the Three of Swords too. So the Three of Swords isn't just about romance. This is telling me he's tired. You see how these guys are tired? He's tired of fighting. He's just tired of life. He's really depressed, this man. This Gemini, he's really depressed. Not just that. There's a lot of things happening behind the scenes. This card actually represent behind the scenes situation because it represents the things that people can see. So there's things going on as far as the things people can see, but this is actually a spiritual element. This these animals right here, like fighting and all of that, because this doesn't really happen in real life. You see like this little creature holding this axe, but what it represents is spiritual battles. So he's dealing with physical battles. You see these humans, it represents the physical, what people can see. He's dealing with battles, and he's dealing like as far as physically, and he's dealing with spiritual battles. So this Gemini, he's still dealing with depression and just sadness. He's dealing with severe depression. So let's see, is he still sleeping around and being an alcoholic to cope with his depression and sadness and all of that? What can we see? Is he abusing alcohol and sex to cope and to manage? He's overworking. So I don't know what he's doing. He could be in the studio making music. It doesn't mean that sort of just like you have to see it. You know, it's kind of just like Cardi B hasn't released her album out, but it's kind of just like the reading I did for her showed that like she has a lot of songs, but for whatever reason, they haven't put out an album. So it doesn't mean that he's not working, even though he's really depressed and all of that. I'm seeing that he's overworking. So it's kind of just like he did try to get better as far as the alcohol. At the same time, he's overworking, but he's tired. Again, the Three of Swords popped up again. Not just that, the Two of Swords. There's conflict, sadness, not just that. If you look, he's dealing with sickness, and he is still dealing with drinking a lot. He's slowed down as far as the sex. He's not. This deck has a lot of sexual cards, so it's kind of just like if sex was going to pop out, it would have popped out. He slowed down on the sexual stuff. For him, he's trying to cope with working. He's overworking himself, and it's telling me he needs to slow down because he might overwork himself to death or overwork himself as far as like stressing and all that. He might make himself really sick. Not just that, he's really abusing the alcohol, and it is making him sick. So yeah, he's not really having sex anymore. He's just dealing with being an alcoholic and overworking. So let's see, what's wrong with V? Why is he always grumpy? Well, we already got into some of his energy as far as just like him like not wanting to like sleep around, as far as having him like having to sleep with industry executives. We already got into all that. But let's see, what else can we see? What's going on with V? Why is he always grumpy? What can we see with this situation? The King of Wands. He's not happy with his life. He feels like he has a lot to offer. You see this King of Wands? The King of Wands represent someone that's attractive. The King of Wands represent someone that is charming. He feels like he has a lot to give in the world. And you see, this is the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is all about sort of planning, right? I believe this popped up for, I can't even remember now because this reading is kind of long. It's going into 40 minutes. But it's kind of just like this card popped up, the Three of Wands. I forget for which member, but it was speaking of planning. He wants to travel. He wants to do things in his life. So it's kind of just like he's not happy with him not being able to express who he is. He feels like he has a lot to give. Not just that, he wants to be doing more in his life. with this Three of Wands. The Empress is a behind the scenes energy, right? The Emperor is kind of just like out in the open. It can also represent industries and all of that, like big business. The Empress can be someone that's compassionate, caring. But the Empress also represent behind the scenes energy, behind the scenes influences. It's things going on behind the scenes, and it has to do with work. Intuitively, it's telling me work. Not just that, it's conflict with the Five of Swords. Not just that, betrayal. He's dealing with betrayal. There's been, he's not receiving help from 2 members. There's 2 members in BTS that's not helping him. He has something going on with 2 of the members. I don't know. I don't follow these people. This is just what's being told to me. He has issues with 2 of the members from BTS, and he feels like they're not helping him on his journey. He feels like he's out in the cold alone, and that, again, he can't express himself. He can't express like how charming he is, his own creativity, and what he wants to do. Not just that, it's a lot of things, again, happening behind the scenes. The Empress represents behind the scenes energy. So, I mean, I'm going to leave it here. I felt like this reading was detailed and comprehensive. You know, definitely press the thumbs up button. And guys, tell me what you thought of this situation. It was really fascinating to me. So, yeah. Take care.